Now, last week, the Director of Public Prosecutions, Keriako Tobiko, ordered the Directorate of Criminal Investigations to interrogate and record statements from all parties involved in the Eurobond and report back within 10 days. Now, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission is also conducting a parallel probe. Now, apart from the technocrats and ministry officials, a host of transaction advisors also took part at various stages as Kenya floated the sovereign bond that raked in 250 billion shillings. Let's now take a look at some of those firms as well as individuals who have featured in the saga. And we begin with these two men as the men in charge at the Treasury. Cabinet Secretary Henry Rotich and his co-principal Kamau Thuge have been under pressure to explain how the proceeds of the sovereign bond were used. The Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission detectives grilled Rotich on Saturday, a day after Thuge was also questioned. The two are among 14 government officials set to record statements with the EACC. We move on now to Agnes Odhiambo, and in October this year, the Controller of Budget raised a storm when she told MPs that 176 billion shillings was deposited in an offshore account over which she did not have any control. Odhiambo, who is set to be grilled by EACC as well, that is tomorrow, said that 53 billion shillings was later withdrawn to offset a foreign debt without her approval. She later backtracked under pressure to say all the expenditures were satisfactorily explained to her office. We move now to the Auditor General, and in his report in July, Edward Oko termed as illegal Treasury's payment of the 53 billion shilling foreign loan without the Controller of Budget's knowledge as illegal. Oko said all payments from the Consolidated Fund must always be sanctioned by the Controller of Budget. The Auditor General will be grilled tomorrow. We take a look now at lead managers in the saga, and Barclays Bank, JP Morgan Securities, Standard Chartered Bank and Qatar National Bank were the lead managers in the bond floated in 2014. Their role was to structure the Eurobond offer, prepare the prospectus, pitch to investors and place their orders. They are more or less the salespeople. JP Morgan handles the US market, Standard Bank sought investors in Africa and Asia, while Qatar National Bank was in charge of the Middle Eastern market. Now associated with businessman Jim Nambaru, Diane Blair was listed as a co-manager who also acted as a local advisor in that transaction. Also listed is Citibank as the paying agent. Its role was to receive $815 million raised in the second phase of the Eurobond. And very finally, let's take a look at the legal advisors. The leading firms Anjoala and Kana and Kaplan Stratton and Arnold and Porter were contracted to handle any legal issues that arose over the sovereign bond. And very shortly, we will be speaking, as I mentioned earlier, to EACC CEO Halake Wako on the details of this and other investigations that they are carrying out. Well, we'll move on now to other stories that are making headlines. And Kenyans, this will not be very happy news for you as the end-year festivities begin in the coming weeks. The Meteorological Department has warned that in some parts of the country, you need to prepare for a rain-soaked Christmas. Now, some favorite destinations, including Mombasa and the scenic Masai Mara, are likely to experience heavy downpours, even as the rains that have led to the death of at least 80 people ease in other regions. Our Wilkes Sanyabo now tells us more.